welcome back to Transform with Tori. And what we're going to be doing today is a mindset chat. So stick around. It's been a while since I've done a mindset chat, but for this talk, what I wanted to place emphasis on is growth mindset. And basically, your mindset, depending on if you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, it has the power to change your life. Now, depending on what kind of mindset you have, it'll affect the decisions that you make and how you go about viewing yourself and the perspective that you have on different situations. Ask yourself, whenever challenges arrive in your life, how do you view them? How do you look at them? Whenever I was making this video, I kind of looked at the objects on my desk. It kind of brought me a metaphor for the fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Hold on. So the question that I asked earlier, how do you respond to challenges that arise in your life? And you said that you're fearful or you don't think that you'll get through them. They're scary. It brings back negative thoughts. Well, fixed mindset is basically when you think that your talents and abilities are what you were born with. And it's kind of like, well, this is a salt rock lamp, and the salt rock lamp does not change. It's stagnant, and this is how it's always going to be, a rock. Now, you're not necessarily going to be a rock, but your talents and abilities, they may not progress or increase if you think that that's how it's always going to be, because that's how you were born. You were born with no math skills. You were born with no exercise abilities. You were born with no public speaking skills. But like this little pot that I have not watered yet, but like this little pot, it actually says, "Thank you for helping me grow," which is quite nice for this metaphor because that's what a growth mindset is. It's your belief that no matter what abilities or talents that you have the power to change and to improve on those talents and abilities. Math might not necessarily be your strong suit like it wasn't for me in elementary school, but I got better at math. I ended up with straight A's in math, and I never thought I would when I was little. That was a really big challenge for me. But like a growth mindset, you will start out as a seed. It starts out and you're just beginning. And the more you practice, the more that you develop those skills, you'll blossom into a beautiful little flower. Like this little, you'll eventually get to where you envision yourself to be. Even for your goals, the goals that you have in mind, if it deals with something that is out of your comfort zone, well, you can take a chance to practice those skills that are outside your comfort zone, and eventually you'll be adapted to whatever was outside of your comfort zone. It's not going to feel as foreign to you when you put yourself out there, when you actually try the challenges. So I really love those two examples as to what a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset is. A couple of examples. Me and Cooper went to a rock climbing gym. Who knew that there was a rock climbing gym? I never knew that. And we went a couple of months ago. It has been a while since I've been rock climbing. Probably 10 years since the last time I rock climbed. So I was really nervous. It was almost foreign to me and new. And actually I have a little bit of fear of heights. Whenever I am high up, all of these negative thoughts come up. And so whenever we were rock climbing, we got to this first wall and they have you go through a little training. And so after you're done the training, we were going on the first wall and I'm climbing. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. You're on a harness and all that. And then I look over, and that was my mistake. I turn around and I was over 10 feet up and I started to shake. And I couldn't stop shaking. I'm getting down. And so after that first round, that was just like a negative experience, the first rock wall that I went on. I don't know if I can do this. It's really scary. Once I get to a certain point, I know how high I am. It depends on your mindset. It's not just physical strength for rock climbing, it really is part of your mindset. And so whenever I went to the other rock climbing walls, there's It was higher, it became harder, so the rocks became smaller, and also there was the wall itself kind of curved in, so it wasn't just straight and vertical. And so whenever I went to the next rock climbing wall, I did it. I went to the top. I was getting really nervous and shaky up there, but I told myself, I'm gonna push through this. I'm going to get to the top. Right now, it's all in my head. I wasn't feeling physically exhausted. It was literally my second wall. I'm gonna push through this fear I have, and I'm going to learn and challenge myself and keep going. And so I did, and I rang that bell, and I felt so amazing after it. But the me back then probably would have never given it a shot and probably told myself, that rock wall is too hard for you. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't do that. Also, another example is a few years back, about 6 years, I wouldn't go to the gym by myself alone. I would feel so terrified and so intimidated by all the other people that already knew what they were doing. They seemed like they had it all together and all figured out. So I was like, that can't be me. That can't be me over there with the gym sets. And I went with my friends. I would never go alone. And so eventually I kind of climbed out of my shell, and I started going to the gym by myself. I started watching YouTube videos and getting some ideas for workouts there, and then I started going alone. When something is new, it starts out in your uncomfort zone and it's totally foreign, totally new to you. But once you begin to immerse yourself in that experience and you keep practicing, it becomes comfortable again. And so to challenge yourself and to grow more, maybe start adding more weights, maybe start finding those new different challenges at the gym. And so that's the same thing with the rock climbing gym. They had different walls. The walls kind of progressively got more challenging. And so basically you had the harness. Whenever I did my second wall, my friend was actually controlling the harness for me. And so it felt a little bit more scary because you're not hooked up to the wall, like your friend has control of you. So you have to have complete trust in them. And then also they have rock climbing walls with no harness whatsoever. So you go and, once you fit those challenges and you're like, all right, I'm ready for more growth, go and set out to those new challenges. But after the rock climbing wall, guess what? You can go and try actual mountain climbing. So there's always room for growth. There's always room for learning in all experiences that you have. How do you get a growth mindset? How does one develop a growth mindset? First, it takes practice and awareness. To find out, do you have a growth mindset to begin with, or do you have a fixed mindset? How do you approach challenges that arise in your life? Do you approach them with, oh, I can't do that, or I can't do that yet? It's the power of yet in a growth mindset. You might not be that skillful or experienced yet at that challenge, but eventually you'll get there. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe a few years from now. It takes patience, it takes learning, and it takes hard work too. You can't just put no effort at all into a growth mindset, because having a growth mindset means that you're going to be doing work. You're going to be doing dedication into whatever challenge that arises to you. You can't just look at the challenge and be like, all right, and not do anything. You have to put in the work, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort. So you can replace failing with learning. A lot of the times we view mistakes as bumps in the road, and you feel really disappointed in yourself, and you add negative thoughts to failure. You're scared of failure. Have a different viewpoint onto failure. Think of failure as lessons in your life instead of disappointments, because you do learn from your mistakes, and you can use what you've learned as tools to guide you through whatever challenge that you're trying to accomplish. So that's what I would say, is to try to view failures, because most of the time when people fail, it's because they didn't even try. So I would say, don't be scared of failure. Actually take it as an opportunity for more growth in your life. The last tip I have for developing a growth mindset is value the process over the result. We always want the end destination, and we're reaching for our goals or the challenge, and we just want to say that we conquered it and we did it, when really it's all about how we got there. We have to take a look back and appreciate the journey to how you got to your destination. Because those little baby tiny steps that led you to the big end result ultimately responsible for how you got there. So appreciate the journey, appreciate the little baby steps, and just look at it as another opportunity for growth. I'm not gonna tell you that I have a perfect growth mindset. It's something that takes practice. I still have negative thoughts. You have to become aware of those negative thoughts, and you get to decide how you want to experience the world and to go about achieving the goals that you want. Thank y'all so much for listening, and I will see y'all in the next video.